Welcome back, our dear viewers. In today's edition of Cairo Local Time, we are going to shed light about the importance of technology. And we are very much delighted to have our dear guest in the studio, Dr. El-Sakka, Professor of IT and Human Development Expert. Hello, Doctor.
Thank you for having me today. It's my great honor to be with you.
It's our honor, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. El-Sakka, how far does technology make difference to all the different aspects of life?
Really, it makes all the difference, not just difference in our aspect of life. And it's not the matter of only what we are right now, but what we will be in the future. We can say that there is no one can expect how our life will be. If we look at the technology, it affects and it will be affected by the way that we are living, how we are handling technology, our habits, how we are dealing with. So technology, it's two-way. I mean, it affects the aspects of our life, and it is affected by our demands and our needs. People, they are expecting, and we have what we call it here, futurology. This is a science of seeing the future. It's not astronomy or or astrology or anything like that, but it is based on mathematics, heavy mathematical models. How we can expect, how we will see the future. In technology, we see, for example, if you are going to talk about 2020, they are expecting, that was they call it glass era. That everything like glasses, and when you start getting up in the morning, you will have here something like tablet, and it's transparent. You just put your coffee or Nescafe, whatever you want to do, prepare your car or whatever, and then everything is connected with each other till you reach to your place. And then even in the car, if you will be driving, we are expecting in a very near future, because of technology, that we will have no driverless people. So it will be fantastic, if you can imagine. Usually when we talk about technology, as you know, the technology, it's a matter of applying science in the benefit of human being. That's it. It's different from science. Science, it could be, usually science, or it means that why and how things are happening, if there is a phenomena. But technology here, it is related to added value for our life. So it is the aspects of our life. This is the technology. People, they have dreams. If you would like to make use of that, I mean here in Egypt and Arab countries, we have to dream. No limits. I keep telling people and say the sky is our limit. I mean there is no limits. Just a dream, just dream. And then knowing the concept and how we are going to use the technology, you will reach something good.
Indeed. Sir, of course, we are all aware that the developed countries did pay a lot and invested a lot in the fields of technology and developing that domain in particular. To what extent the third world countries and the developing nations are paying and investing in that domain in order to develop the technology sector in particular, and to what extent we could use that domain also in order to provide job vacancies and job opportunities for youth?
Okay, this is a very decent and good question. Let's try to answer just a bit by bit. The developed country, actually, they are taking care of that, and they have invested a lot of money. That's right. Very great investment. It's on our side. I mean, for developing countries, we are going to make use of that, because we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We are starting from where they ended. Fortunately, for the technology itself and in IT, information technology, there is a very good point on our side. We don't need to have a very big capital. The capital here, or the asset that we need in this case, is the human resource. And this is the humans. I mean our youth, our people. And so it's a very good point to make use of the developed country investment. This is the first point that we are talking about. We may invest, we are not going to, to go and with them in the same area. We may take something else. For example, they are investing for some hardware, for some equipments and whatever. Why don't we invest in something like artificial intelligence related to our Arab country. This is our baby,
yes,
so we may have. Why don't we invest like India in software? You know, that's the way that we can gain money and make profits.
Yes.
And we keep saying and telling that here, economic and technology are two faces for the same coin, you see? So this is in our benefit. And that's what we really are looking for to make use of that. And I think this time, it's one of the best times in the human history
yes.
for developing countries. I mean,
yes.
I mean that we can make use of it and we can work on it and we can go up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doctor, we cannot deny that the Egyptian administration today is paying great concern and great attention to developing the technology sector and to merge the youth in developing that domain in particular. And we have seen many forums which were held by the president
yes.
himself concerning the youth and, of course, developing the technology and how they can merge in order to do that
yes.
with the innovative ideas, with startups and entrepreneurship. How do you see the future of the youth in developing the sector of technology in particular?
Yes. Answering this in a very short and then come back.
Yes.
Yes, we see it's a very potential, a high potential, promising future for our youth. This recalls me here, 15th of October, I was in daily debate here,
yes.
talking about here technology pioneers, future technology pioneers. And actually I was technology,
yes,
yes, future of technology pioneers or future technology pioneers. I was really very enthusiastic by that time, and I can, whenever I go back and watch this episode, it was very, very, warm feelings, because for the first time, by that time,
yes.
I felt that our dream is becoming true, because for the first time to have here the head of the state, he is taking care of this and he is following what's going on to certain depth. I mean, they know. I mean, either Mr. President or the government all together, they are working in a symphony, let us put it this way, in a system. And when we mention system from the scientific point of view, it means it's a set of interrelated, interdependent components that they are working together to fulfill the objectives. Let us stop for a while about this definition or concept. Here, we cannot work in isolation. We'll have to have a common vision, a common task. This is for the whole state, and everyone is going to work upon that. It's not enough for this. It's not only for the pioneers or for the senior or top management or our leaders to know where we are heading, but everyone, every simple citizen here, he has to know and to participate, because this is our country, it's our state. Mentioning this, we don't stop and suffice and say it's only for Egypt, but we would like to extend this to Africa and the Arab world.
Yes.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do.
Yes.
You see?
Yes, and we have witnessed also the platform which was held by the president himself under his auspices for the African and Arab youth in the governorate of Aswan. Yeah. But first we'll take this report about the technology and the investment in the field of technology in particular. Let's watch and we'll be back to continue our interview.
There is no denying the difference technology has made to all aspects of life, often changing the way business is conducted. Global economic growth could accelerate by 1 to 2% per year as a result of the adaptation of new technologies. New technologies such as cloud computing, automation, robotics, blockchain, and 3D printing are a game-changing, as the steam engine was back in the 18th century and the electricity in the latter half of the 19th century. According to recent research, digitalization, robotics, and automation are already altering the demand for skills as increasing numbers of tasks and jobs are automated and new jobs are created in new activities with low labor intensity and bias for high-end labor skills. These new technologies and their rapid advances increasingly require skills such as abilities to interpret, analyze, and communicate complex information and problem solving. At the same, digitalizations and automation are reducing demand for basic manual labor skills in manufacturing and some services. However, the new technologies coupled with a huge youth population could translate into a new growth model for the MENA region. The youth in the MENA region deployed through proper public policies could be the new oil of the region. Around 30% of the population of the Middle East in age between 15 and 29, and they are ready for change. The new growth model could be one that turns the surplus of unemployment and misemployment people into productive human capital through innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship, and all that can be realized by proper planning and coordination between the government, the private sector, and civil society. The big challenge facing public policy makers in the Middle East and North Africa region is how to harness the technologies for the public benefit by accelerating growth and job creation. Governments must invest in infrastructure, making broadband accessible to all segments of the population. Governments must reform and upgrade the current educational systems given the high skill needs of the new technologies. With technology changing by the minute, it is very difficult to predict what will happen in the next few years.
And welcome back. We continue our interview with Dr. El-Sakka. Doctor, at the preliminary meeting of young entrepreneurs in Africa, His Excellency President Sisi said that he is announcing the launch of an initiative to train 10,000 Egyptian and African youth as developers of electronic games and applications. But now our viewers will go live to watch the reception held by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to visiting Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates. Of the armed forces. Of course, very important memorandum of understanding was signed between the two leaders. And of course, before wrapping up today's edition of Cairo Local Time, I would like to ask my dear guest, Dr. Said, about the important memorandum of understanding which were signed between Egypt and the United Arab Emirates.
Yes, really, it's part of what we're started talking about just before this news break. Here, and our leaders who are looking here for cooperation and consolidation, consolidating the ties between either Arab countries and at the same time Africa. Last point that we've been talking about, it was how we are going to have 10,000 youth working in games. And these memorandums of understanding, actually, it's another aspect, it's another proof, evident, how our leadership and our leaders, they are working in the right track. So we are trying to make use of everything here. So we are consolidating the relationships between ourselves and all the Arab countries, because we will end up with win-win situation. And this is the point that we will have to concentrate upon here. And fortunately, Egypt, in the heart of all this, either the Arab world or in the heart of Africa, with our strategic and with our powerful youth and expertise and all that, I think that will have a very high potential, either in technology, economics, and we hope the best for that.
In different domains, of course, Dr. Said El-Sakka, Professor of IT and Human Development Expert. Thank you very much for being our guest.
You are most welcome. Thanks a lot for giving me this chance and be with you. It's my pleasure and honor to be with you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And with that, our viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Cairo Local Time. You were in the company of myself, Maisty Rabia, signing off.